There are two types of proteins that compose muscle. The first, which is shown here, is myosin. It is the thicker of the two protein strands. The second filament is called actin. Attached to actin are two other proteins, troponin, which is shown in the blue beads, and tropomyosin, which is shown by the pink pipe cleaner. ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is shown by the yellow beads. Calcium ions are shown by the red pipe cleaners. Neurotransmitters are shown by the orange beads. The red marker is the axon, and the green marker is the sarcolemma. The black marker shows the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is located on either side of the T-tubule. When you want to contract a muscle, a signal is sent from the brain through the peripheral nervous system until it reaches the neurons connected to the muscle. A neurotransmitter is then released by the neuron's axon and is sent across the synaptic cleft to the active sites on the sarcolemma, the membrane surrounding muscle fibers. This triggers an action potential which travels along the sarcolemma, which travels along the sarcolemma, and ATP binds to the myosin heads, putting them in a high energy or cocked position. Calcium ions are then released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum and bind to the troponin on the actin. This causes the tropomyosin to change shape and expose the binding sites on the actin. The myosin then binds to active sites on the actin, forming a cross bridge. As the ATP gets used up, the myosin heads move back to a low energy state, moving the actin along with it in a movement called a power stroke. ATP is reintroduced to the binding sites, breaking the cross bridge, and then the process repeats. Upon death, the body is incapable of obtaining oxygen through breathing. In the absence of oxygen, the conventional method of producing ATP, cellular respiration, becomes impossible. As a result, the regular amount of ATP is not produced. A small amount of ATP is still produced through phosphagen and anaerobic metabolism. Meanwhile, calcium ions leak from the extracellular fluid and do their normal task of attaching to the troponin, causing tropomyosin to expose the actin's active sites. The myosin heads are able to become cocked and bind to the actin. However, after the power stroke, there is not enough ATP for the myosin to detach from the actin, causing the crossbridge to remain in place and the muscle to stay contracted. Eventually, the lactic acid produced from anaerobic metabolism will build up and lower the pH of the muscles, causing them to deteriorate and ending rigor mortis.